G'day, guys. Welcome to the Steel Syndicate podcast. I'm your host, Mark, and my co-host, Britsburgh, Owen. Owen, how's it going, mate?
Oh, good down. Oh, good up here, down here in the
Yeah,
UK,
you
man.
almost said down under.
Almost, yeah. Up here in the UK, shall we say? Yeah, definitely, man. All good. Yeah, just I don't know. What was it? Half past 11 at night here in the UK. So yeah, a bit weird.
Yeah, you know what's cool though as well, because we had the fellas on your Britsburgh Owen live podcast or broadcast, and we've had those videos come out in the Syndicate. So go back and watch those videos too, guys. It was a fantastic time, right?
Yeah.
All Steelers talk, Donnie and Noah talking about football, and we only covered two topics, didn't we?
Oh
And it
yeah,
went for it.
and the insights we got from like Noah were amazing, man. This guy, you know, he's been to the OTAs, he's been to mini camp, he's got access to the players, and he gave us some fantastic insights, didn't he, into what happened at mini camp, what happened at training camp, you know, with Kenny, with George Pickens, with Matt Canada's system. You know, I'm not going to talk too much on here about it because I want you to go and watch the videos. But yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, overall it was a great time, but today's show is going to be a little bit different. So, and you know what? First, let's do a bit of housekeeping as well. So, a bit of housekeeping, guys. You know that we bring you guys Steelers content pretty much every single day. Me and Owen alternate different videos here and there, talking about different topics from Najee to Watt to Minka to all those dudes, right? And to some of the undrafted free agents, all those dudes. Bit of housekeeping. So, in the future, we will be going live. I think we're going to try and plan around our first live around training camp, which I think is the 27th of July, but we'll be
Correct.
going live the night before. So we're still working a few things out. We want to try and also during the season, we'll be doing like post games after the Steelers win versus the Bengals, or if they do lose. We want to get that like knee jerk reaction, and like me and Owen are massive fans, if you guys know. So there won't be any swearing or nothing like that, but you will get our true opinion of that game and those kind of things. But are you excited, Owen, to interact with the live crowd?
Oh yeah, I mean the live chats. I mean, I know from like doing my Britsburgh broadcast and like last night, especially the interaction with the live chat's fantastic, guys. Getting the reaction of the fans and getting their comments and questions is awesome. And also the fact that it sometimes gives you a different perspective as well from what you haven't thought of or something you haven't thought about during the game, because everyone has a different view during the game and everyone has a different perspective, and they may come up with a question or a comment. You're just like, oh yeah, I hadn't thought of it. So yeah, and it may take you down a different alley when you're discussing the post game or the pre-game or whatever you're discussing. So yeah, it'd be fantastic to get some live chat and to get all the Syndicate subscribers involved.
Yeah, definitely. That's it too. So we're all about, building that Steel community here on Syndicate and having a good time on our own personal channels like Steel Nation Australia and Britsburgh Owen. But I think it's time that we do start to go live. And I think the best case scenario will be for the night before training camp, get everyone pumped up, talking about camp battles and things of that nature. And yeah, after the post game as well, like it's what better time to talk about our Steelers when they're coming off a victory. And, hopefully we can still continue this podcast on a weekly basis as it's not going away, because I forgot that. I already forgot it. And look, I also, guys, I'm trying to improve every single day with the Steelers content. And I do like this cheesy intro, but it may change in the future. But for now, it's sticking, and it just gives you that like warm 90s, TV series vibe of like, I don't know, like Home Improvement or something like that, right?
Oh, I loved Home Improvement, man. That was an awesome
Yeah.
show.
You know what's really funny about like Home Improvement is they stuck to their guns with that. Was it Wilson behind the fence, and you never saw his face? He was the original. Like people say, do face reveals on YouTube. He's the original face reveal. Never happens.
Yeah. Oh, I used to love Tim Allen, man. Tim Allen was solid, man. He was wicked. I loved him. More power.
Yeah, like that was a brilliant show. But like, yeah, we're always trying to improve here, guys, on this channel. So I think the next step for us is going live in the future and getting your comments in the live chat and just building that. I'm all about building that Steelers community, because that's what we do. Me and Owen here we would love to be overseas in Pittsburgh and go to tailgates and that kind of stuff, drink beers and eat American food and enjoy American football and talk about the game. And that's all we're really doing. So I can't wait to do that for the future. And we are so close to training camp. But today's episode is not about training camp. We are talking about memories from the past, and we're going to go through some just like off the top of our heads, like Steeler memories, and hopefully it flows. And talk about possibly what memories will be created in the future, what memories will be created in 2022. So, Owen, off the top of your head, do you have any like best memories for the Steelers plays or things like that? And we'll see where this rabbit hole goes or trail goes.
Oh man, there's so many, isn't there? I mean, I think we're spoilt as a franchise. You look back and you just look back at so many like amazing players, amazing memories of Steeler football. I mean, Polamalu for me. I mean, Troy Polamalu is my favorite Steeler. He is just he's awesome. I mean, what memories? Him leaping over the offensive line to tackle the quarterback. I think that's one that resonates with me. That
Which
one-handed.
time? Which time?
Oh, just every time he did it. That guy when he was it against the Titans when he nailed that guy on the running back on the goal line. There was the one-handed interception.
That's my favorite. It's so good you bring that up. Chris Johnson, that's my favorite tackle I think I've ever seen Troy do. Troy came out of nowhere. He came back from the safety position about 30 or 20 yards deep. Chris Johnson goes out to the left-hand side and tries to bank it out left. And Troy Polamalu comes out of nowhere and knocks his feet under. Great tackle. Yeah. It's a fantastic moment.
Just Troy is for me. Troy is my favorite Steeler. I love the way he played. I know I'm biased, but in my opinion, he's the best safety ever to play the game. He was a warrior. That's what he was. He was an absolute warrior. And even now when I watch that guy's Hall of Fame speech, it still absolutely chokes me watching it for the 15 millionth time again. I even watched it again tonight when I was walking my dog, and it just chokes me, man. He's awesome. I mean, that leaping over the line to tackle people, that one-handed interception against, I think it was Miami when it was that freezing cold day and there was snow on the ground. It was a rebound and he went down one-handed and caught it. It was just
that was
just awesome.
Charges.
That was it. Yeah.
Under there, yeah, just right under. Do you remember the one where he tackled? I think one of the Bengals QBs, and he literally walked between the center and the guard, and snuck between the lines to tackle. I think Palmer at the time. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, Carson Palmer. Yeah, you just seem to see him creeping towards the line. You thought, yeah, here he goes. He's going over the top, or he's going through a gap or something. Troy, I just love Troy and just the enthusiasm he brought to the game. And Troy is, like I said, I love Troy. I just absolutely love Troy. He's my favorite Steeler of all time. And there's been some amazing ones, but Troy, I just absolutely love Troy.
Well, let's run with that theme then. Let's go back and forth between past and future. So with Troy being, one of the greatest, probably the greatest to ever play for the Steelers, like he's just amazing human and still, Steeler. Do you think that? Well, what are some future memories that future memories that may happen with Minkah Fitzpatrick this year in 2022? Can he emulate some of that success, or can he make the big play like he did versus the Indianapolis Colts, where he ran away the 70-yard TD? What are we going to see when we look back next year in 2023? What are we going to go? Wow, what happened? What's going to happen with Minkah?
Yeah, I think there's every chance. I mean, I think we saw Minkah more last season playing like Troy in terms of him being free and being able to do what he wanted. And I think this year, even more so. I mean, one of the things that you got to remember is that Flores is coming, and Flores is very much in for these three safety sets. And now we've got Kazee and Edmonds. I think we'll see Edmonds come up into the box. I think we'll see Kazee covering deep, and it'll free up Minkah more to be that Troy. I'm not saying as good as Troy, but that Troy type safety. So we'll see more of him. Interceptions, taking it to the house, him attacking the quarterbacks, tackles. I mean, like last year, the pass breakup against, was it Hollywood Brown in the Baltimore game?
Yeah,
when he pretty much saved the season. And that's, obviously that's a memory from last year. I think we'll see again similar things this coming season from him.
Do you reckon we'll see something like a pick six where he's like maybe he's put himself into the slot, or he's picked off like the old days, like William Gay did at cornerback? Maybe he comes down into that role, or are we seeing he's always going to play back in the safety position and always going to be picking the ball up like that, or he's going to roam around more like Troy did, right?
I think he'll roam more this year. I think, given the fact that we've got Flores and given the fact that, like I said, we've got Kazee and Edmonds, I think we'll see much more use of giving Minkah that free role to go and influence the game and be that sort of that thief, that robber, the guy who can go wherever he wants, intercept the ball, read the game. And given the fact that Minka is just fantastic at reading the game and reading the quarterback, I think there's every chance that he's going to have more pick sixes this year, and we'll have more memories of going, wow, do you remember when he picked off, let's hope for your sake, Mark, when he picked off Joe Burrow and went the whole length of the field? Or
what? Why not? And also, guys, I do apologize. I've got the lighting coming in today. I haven't got any curtains at the moment, but look, see.
That's because you live in a sunny country, Mark.
I know. Look, it's so funny. Look, here's the thing. So I live in Australia, and Britsburgh Owen lives in England, and even in my winter, it's still warm. Like it was cold like 2 days ago, like 35 Fahrenheit, and now it's like 50, 60. So
that's not cold, Mark. That's like tropical in the UK.
Yeah, well, the sun's going up, so it should be out of our hair shortly. But I'm excited too, man. I really am about Minka, because you look what Troy did for this organization over the 10, 11 years he played. It was fantastic. I still remember the catch he did versus Titans. I think it was 2008, where it was a one-handed catch, and it was the big throw. It was a sunny day in Heinz Field, and he pulled the ball in and called. I still remember the times where Troy caught an interception, and then for some reason he was running back. We've already won the game versus some team, and he lateraled, he threw the football backwards, and it was a fumble. Like, he always tried to extend the play. Troy was everywhere and pretty much nowhere at the same time. Like, he was just so involved. He could tackle. I remember him tackling. I think it might have been an eagle with his back. He had turned around by like accident or circumstance for the play. And as he's going to the ground, he tackled the play with his arms behind his back. Yeah. And I think heading into the future, or future memories with like Minka, there's a good chance that Minka can be similar stardom to what Troy was for us and other fans. So I didn't even realize too. I think this is Minka's 4th year. Can you believe it? Can you believe that we got him in 2019, 2020, 2021? This is his 4th year as a Steeler. Like, he's no longer really a Miami Dolphin, right?
No, he's a Steeler. He's a Steeler through and through now.
Yeah, so like it's going to be amazing to see what he can do, and I think he'll be in a better position this year to go out and make the big splash plays rather than go out and play, tackle simulator where he got 120 tackles. Right? I think he's going to be fantastic. Let's move into some more memories and see where they take us, and see what players that we may get attached to into the future. Is there any other big memories in Steeler history that you were like you just absolutely love?
Debo, just
the
tone setter that he was. That there's a video on the internet at the moment about hardest hits, him and Ryan Clark, and you go back and watch that, and you just look at Debo and just some of the hits that he did on people. When I think he was the one that laid out Wes Welker, smashing opposition quarterbacks. He just set the tone for what was the Steelers' defense. The 100-yard return, which is probably one of the greatest plays in Super Bowl history against the Arizona Cardinals. The night he went off against Baltimore, 3-4 sacks, and
that was an unbelievable night. Unbelievable.
He was just the guy had been cut 6-7 times in his career, and he came back, and he now holds the. I mean, I don't know how much longer, but he holds the Steelers' sack record. But the fact that he was such a tone setter for the Steelers' defense, the fact that you just did not mess with James Harrison. He was awesome.
He's still working, because I've got him on Instagram, right? I saw him this morning. He took a reel of like showing his guns, his 22-inch pythons.
He's massive still.
He's like let's join the 22 club. Like he is probably the epitome of like motivation. Like, he's if I walk past him and I said, I don't feel like I want to go to the gym, which I haven't really felt like going to the gym, right? He would just tell me, you're an idiot, go. He is like he's the football and just a man's man. Like, we know that Cameron Hayward's a man, but Debo, that's what they called him. That nickname's from that movie Friday, where you got knocked the F out, man. He's just like incredible. And as a Steeler, yes, he went to the Patriots, yes, he went to the Bengals, but as a Steeler, and he's a true Steeler in my opinion. He's my favorite. He's I've got his jersey behind my back here, right? He's my favorite, and I think like for the memories he gave us was every time he lined up on the line of scrimmage, he was headhunting the quarterback and come in, and there's a reason that he's got the most sacks. But let's move into, like, obviously we need to talk about TJ Watt. Is TJ Watt, is he's going to pass James Harrison, right? And
Easy.
will he be down as the edge rushers or outside linebackers? Will it be TJ Watt and then Harrison number 2, like bang bang?
Easy, yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. How TJ is going to overtake him this year. I think TJ could even break the sack record again this year. It's like Mike Tomlin said, isn't it? TJ is visiting us from another planet. I think that's just so true. But if you go back across Steeler history, the outside linebackers that we've had, we've been spoiled. Kevin Green, Greg Lloyd, for example. 2 more. We are spoiled, and these guys are nasty good, aren't they? They are really nasty good.
Yeah, it's so awesome, and I'm so like, you think about what we've done. The Kevin Colbert era, and we never had a losing season with Tomlin, and I think you need to appreciate these players, like TJ Watt, because he's going to be, like, obviously a Hall of Famer, and he's not finished yet, right? He's not overly finished, so I can't wait to see him go after this year, and I think he will break the franchise record. He could break this record in 6 games.
Oh,
and get
easy.
10 sacks, right?
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
So, is there any other, like, let's try and move to, we talked about a bit of the defense, right? Is there any other, like, I'll start. Here's one of my favorite memories as a Steeler. Looking back, I loved the pass from Randall L to Heinz Ward in that Super Bowl. Like, I thought that to me was kind of like, what's that, Super Bowl 40? Or it was 2005 for me. Like, I was a kid. Life was, like, fun. Life right now is all kinds of crazy, no matter way you see things. But, like, back then, I was like, did I just see Randall L throw the football? And we've seen him do it before in other games, right? But that was a fantastic play. Threw it back. Big Ben threw it back to Randall L. Randall L goes to the outside, throws an absolute dime, like a piece, And Heinz Ward has got separation of, like, 3 or 4 feet, and catches the ball for a touchdown in a Super Bowl from receiver to receiver. How fun was that play?
That was amazing. I mean, I think it came up on Good Morning Football, I think a few weeks back, or a month or so back. It is one of the top 5 like gadget plays of all time. It was fun, wasn't it? I mean, watching Randall L roll out and throw that ball down, and Heinz, that was when he was Super Bowl MVP that year as well. And Heinz Ward is amazing. I loved Heinz Ward. But yeah, you're right. That play was proper amazing.
But just the spiral in the football too, because I think Randall played a bit of college football. It was just a dime. It was absolute on the run, fantastic throw. It wasn't a duck egg or wobbly goose or whatever. It was really just like on the run, zinged it, and it was right in front of him in a perfect placement. And the Steelers score a touchdown, and that's the play. Yeah, it should be top 5. I think. The people talk about the Philly special, whatever that is, and it's like, it's okay. Like, I get it, but it was just so overplayed. I'm just so sick of seeing that special. I like that play because it gave us a bit of a jump in that game as well.
Yeah.
Gave us a boost, and we went on to win, I think, 21-10. And Big Ben, of course, that was Big Ben's second year, right? From memory.
Yeah, it was his first year, second year,
Yeah, second year. So, and he didn't play very well, and we kind of needed those gadget plays, right? And we had to run the ball with Jerome Bettis and stuff like that, and it was fantastic. Is there something into the future that you can see, maybe a gadget play, if it is a Matt Canada offense, or if it is, special teams from Chris Boswell, again, throwing a touchdown? Is there something you can see, any players like that, where you see something as special as Randall L's pass?
Oh, yeah.
Who might it be?
Zach Gentry, ex-college quarterback.
Right.
Someone as well. And I think, given the fact that Gentry is such a huge beast of a human being as well. I mean, what's he, 6'7", 6'8"?
Yeah, 6'7".
They're not going to expect someone like Gentry to have the poise and the touch to be able to do that. So I think that's a very real possibility. Specifically as obviously, I think as Noah mentioned yesterday, we were running a lot of 13 personnel. I think that could be a trick play that could be very easily incorporated into that 13 personnel. That suddenly Gentry's got the ball and he throws it downfield to the one receiver, whether that be Deontay, Chase, George Pickens, or to Pat Freiermuth even.
Imagine if you threw it from tight end to tight end. If it was like Trubisky was under center and he got moved out wide for some reason or whatever, and then the ball went to Gentry in the shotgun, and the whole defense is like, hang on, do we need to cover? Do we need to cover Trubisky? I'm not too sure. Probably not, right?
Yeah.
Or do we need to cover Muth? Why does Gentry have the ball? He's not going to run, right? And Naji's still back there. You could do that. I could see something like that, maybe in a red zone where you would get Gentry the ball, and if he was college quarterback, he would then pass that to Muth. That would be fun. Like it would be so indifferent, but we didn't expect it to happen with Randall Eller, right? Did we?
No. I think obviously Randall L was a quarterback in college as well. So that's sort of reason why I went the Gentry route. It is that sort of skill set that you've got to have to be able to throw the ball. And I think Zach Gentry has that skill set. That's something we possibly could see from him. Do you know what? I think even Pat Freiermuth would be up for something like that. To be honest with you, I think he is such a an awesome player. I think that's another one. Again, something completely unexpected that wouldn't be that could throw an opposition defense so easily. So that's another thing we could see maybe.
Well, we've never even really seen in the NFL we've seen O linemen do it. So I'm not saying we need to do it every single time. I think this Matt Canada offense, like, if you're confident, like I'll say this, if you're confident in your offense to go out and do what you need to do, why not bring in a special play here and there and the gadget play to work it out, where it could be a chance where you might be leading up 7-0, 10-0, and it's 3rd and 3, and they don't expect it, right?
Yeah.
It's maybe going to be a run, and that then turns into a big gain, and it's going to fire up the offense. Like, I know if I was a player on that team and I just saw Gentry throw a dime like 40 yards deep, I would then on defense be like, in the back of my head, if I was TJ Watt, I'd be like, I just saw Gentry throw a touchdown. We need to go win this game. Like, I need to go win this game for Gentry. I can't let this guy lose this game. So I'm excited to see that responsibility be given around, and not all the pressure, because it did feel like for me, like last year, it was just like all the pressure was on Big Ben. Big Ben go and make the plays. But maybe this year, maybe we see Najee Harris in a bit of a wildcat, like something like that. Maybe we see him where we run it 3 or 4 times and he's like the bust, Because I used to love memories like the bust is taking control of the game. Can we see stuff like that where Najee just takes control of the game and runs everyone over?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think there is a possibility. I think the problem with last year's offense, it was far too predictable. Everyone knew that we either ran the ball at the middle with Najee or we threw a short pass. That was what we did. That's everything we could do because of the nature of the offense. Ben's legs had gone. His arm had largely gone. The line sucked. He didn't throw over the middle. So the play was either going to be a short dink and dunk throw to Deontay or to Pat Freiermuth, or it was going to be a run by Najee. Whereas I think this year, there is that element of unpredictability, and I think that's something the Steelers offense need to do, have that element of unpredictability to catch opposition defenses off guard. Because if opposition defenses don't know, we can line up in 12 and 13 personnel, they're going to expect to run. But it could be that we put some gadget play in, or we snap the ball directly to Najee, or something that's going to get them, well, actually, what are they going to do next? Yeah, they might have, it's a run, but it might not be a run because Najee might be, it's just anything to try and gain that advantage over the opposition, given the fact how ineffective our offense was last year.
Yeah, I like it as well too, because even to a certain degree, people talk about like bringing in, Pickett might start games. Maybe there's a chance where Pickett has like certain different series if we are leading or we're getting to the game, where they did it with Justin Fields with the Bears. Like, he kind of came in every now and then. I think Trey Lance did a little bit too. Now that could be a possibility where the fact is you may not even use Pickett as a quarterback to throw the football, but the threat of changing the quarterback, right? Would that be an idea that this Matt Canada system could do? Is where you have Trubisky there, and the next minute he's out, Pickett's in, but in their mind they're not even going to throw the football; they're just going to run it.
Yeah,
that could be a thing too, right?
I mean, we saw the Raiders do that last year with Mariota. I mean, They brought Mariota in because obviously he's a more running quarterback. You could even put 2 quarterbacks in there. You saw the Saints do that with Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. Okay, now Hill's now a tight end, obviously, and the Raiders did it sometimes with Carr and Mariota, both in the backfield. So, you could even see that where you've got Pickett and Trubisky in the backfield. That completely who they're going to snap the ball to and who's going to do what. That's anything to look. The way the Steelers have got to handle this year with the offense is anything to try and catch the defense off guard and to change things because we were so predictable last season and it didn't work. And we've got to try everything this season.
even if for a certain point, you could, if you knew you were going into a timeout or you knew that the quarter was going to end, why not run them out there and just play mind games with them? If you were like 15 seconds to go and the play clock is 30 seconds, why not send out Pickett and Trubisky together? And in your mind, you're not going to snap the football, and then go to the fourth quarter, then bring out Pickett. Like I would do that as a coach. I would try and trick my players. Like, yes, have the standard, the stuff you need to do, but like those are the fundamentals. I think, and a lot of fans will say, well, Tomlin and some other coaches in the past haven't got the fundamentals right, because like last year with Canada, throwing that football to Najee Harris on the sideline was terrible, for 10, like minus 10 yards, right? But let's go back to some positive as we start to round up the show. I want to talk a little bit about kick returns. We know that AB had the famous one knocking over the Brown, like he used him as a welcome mat. He just walked over him like his shoes. And looking back on it, look, I hate the Bengals because they're dirty. And look, that probably could have been that's probably a dirty play, right? We have the Heinz Ward block that knocked out that Raven. I think he broke his jaw. I can't remember who it was, but he broke his jaw, right? And there's now the rule for that. Is there anyone that's this year on special teams, like that's the memories there? Into the future, the next year we go, wow, Oshesky did what? Wow, Austin did what on special teams? Anyone like that?
Yeah, I think Austin's a possibility because the guy's like lightning, apparently. He's absolutely lightning fast. And the fact that he's so small, so tricky, so wiry, I think he's not someone that a lot of teams are going to expect to be able to return the ball and to be able to beat players and things. So, yeah, I think Austin's is definitely one. I mean, I think, the reports coming out of training camp and OTAs are all very positive about Oshesky as well. So I think we could definitely see something. I mean, last year, I don't know about you, Mark, but Ray McLeod, can you remember one single return where you went, wow, or
there was one, and I couldn't believe he didn't beat the punter. He ran all the way, and all he had to do was step to the left or the right or whichever way he was going, and he got tackled by the punter. Right, like he was pretty much done. Like he was getting the 15 yards, but he just couldn't capitalize on that big run that finished the run. Like he just got his own feet. He was getting in his own way. I think he got away for a big break, and he didn't score the touchdown. But I would like to see where you're having, I want to see players go north and south. Like I'm sick of seeing players dance around and they go backwards. How many times in the NFL do you see the kick returner or the punt returner dance around and they go backwards? In any sport, any code, when you do that, if it's NRL, if it's rugby, if it's NFL, you get tackled because the more dancing you do, not going north and south, everyone's going to rally to the football. So I would say if Oshesky is that kind of player where he can do one cut, two cuts, and go north and south, or Austin has got the speed, why not put the burners on Austin, where he can just maybe you're not meant to go east to west, but go around the corner. Maybe he's fast enough to go around the corner and beat some of these gunners, because the gunners are running down so fast, and you just got to some. It's easy to say than do it, but you beat those gunners, then you've just got the middle of the field to play with, right? So I'm excited to see. Next year or this year in 2022, we're like, did you see last week that Austin went for an 89-yard punt return?
Yeah, that'd be wicked. I mean, not since days like you said of AB. Rod Woodson was another one who obviously he was very good at returning. To have someone like that, like an AB, like a Rod Woodson back return the ball would be awesome to give us like another threat. When we've got an awesome defense, I think we've got a decent offense. If we can get a really decent special teams as well, it puts us right up there with every chance of doing really, really well and having a deep run in the playoffs. And if we've got a returner who is a threat, which hopefully Gunnar will be, or even Austin, like you said, I think it does give us an opportunity to go deep in the playoffs.
100%. Here's a question too that just came to my mind. I remember that the Steelers memories. We'll do one or two more. Steelers memories for me is I remember Big Ben trying to get, he didn't do it all the time, but trying to get the 1 yard and was it last year he got the touchdown? I think it was for the 1 yard run. Do you see our quarterbacks doing that, where the QB sneaks or designed run plays to get 3 or 4 yards?
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't think it'll be sneaks as much because neither Trubisky or Pickett are particularly physically big guys. That's one thing I think obviously the Ben had over them, but I think we will see design run plays for those two because they are both exceptionally mobile. They are good runners. I mean, Kenny Pickett, look at that with that fake slide in the ACC championship game.
Yeah,
he can take off and he can run with the ball when he needs to. And I think, as much as Matt Nagy tried to ruin Trubisky in Chicago, Trubisky is, if you look back at his college tape, he is a mobile quarterback. He is a runner. And I think, we will see designed run plays from our from the quarterback, because everyone will be expecting our running attack to just be Najee Harris, because the rest of the running back room is fairly average. But I think in Pickett and in Trubisky, we've got someone who can provide that alternative. And I think, we will see design plays where they're going to take off and run and do exceptionally well.
Right. Is there any other Steeler memories that come to mind for you, or like just in your, black and gold fandom? Is it Heinz Field Stadium? Is it back in the day with me and Joe? Is there anything that stands out like in this short half an hour show that we can bring up to end with?
I don't 100% remember the steel curtain from anything other than reading about it or watching videos or whatever. But I think going back to someone you mentioned, Heinz Ward. Heinz Ward was, someone I do remember playing, and he just, I think them playing the Bengals, and two Bengals trying to tackle him, and him just smashing them both to the floor and then running for a touchdown. Heinz Ward was someone who you try to tackle him and you'd end up getting laid out by him. He was just so physical, wasn't he? And I mean, that Troy Polamalu thing in his Hall of Fame speech, when he talked about his first ever practice, he clashed with Heinz Ward and he hit the ground, and Heinz picks him up and goes, "I'm not like any other wide receiver." And I think that just summarizes Heinz perfectly.
It was super physical, man. And like he took almost like pleasure in just locking someone over in the wide receiver game, and in the blocking too. And I think if I'm transitioning this year, maybe Pickens can do that. I think this year maybe in the role to where he'll be blocking for Najee, and you can see it already. You can already see it. You got Claypool on the outside, you have Pickens next to him, you have the tight end set as well, and you have Najee. I might have named too many players, but you have Najee behind those fellas. Pickens running down the sideline, blocking a cornerback who's littler than, a 5'9" cornerback who's littler than Pickens, taking care of that guy. Okay, sure, you can maybe try and, in the passing game, you can match up and take care of him if you are shorter. But the minute you have Pickens versus a guy that's shorter than him, physicality wins. And you're gonna, if Najee can beat that outside, you're taking one less player out of the game than that is that cornerback, and then Najee's moving on to the safety. I think having physical receivers like that, and hopefully my mate Claypool can get better and be more physical, and maybe you can. Right. Hey, there you go. And other guys like Muth and Gentry, if they can push up the field just enough to give Najee a bit of space, Najee can beat one guy or two guys. So and then he can run to the house. But I think that if there's a guy out there, Heinz Ward, well, Pickens will look like Heinz Ward.
Heinz Ward, I mean, you look back at loads of games, the guy gets hammered in the tackle, and what's the first thing he does? He stands up and he smiles and he's in the opposition's face. Is like, is that it? Is that all you've got? What? Just come on, is that it? Bring it on.
Yeah, it was super fun to watch with him playing, and it makes me want to go watch Super Bowl 40 again from Randall and Heinz Ward. But that's the show, I think, Owen, mate. We did some memories from the past and try and match them to the future, because when the Steelers start playing in 2022, the season will go by so fast, and we hope it doesn't, but it will. And then we're talking about what happened in 2022, and those are the future memories. Is there anything else you want to say to the Syndicate audience, and then I'll close this out?
Like I mentioned earlier, I think as a franchise, we are so spoilt for memories, aren't we? Just so many amazing players and amazing memories. I think there's very few franchises, with the odd exception, I think, that have the memories that we have. The players that we've had from the past, from the 70s, your Mean Joes, your Jack Lamberts, Terry Bradshaws, Frank Harris, Lynn Swann, John Stallworths, your James more recent times, your Farriers, your Shaziers, your Kevin Greens, Greg Lloyds. Just, I mean, wherever you turn with the Steelers, there is so many memories. You could actually you and I could talk, I think, for 24 hours about memories of these guys, because as a franchise, we are spoiled for just the caliber of players we've had.
It's funny you say that, though, because the Bengals have the AFC Championship game. That's a memory.
You mean the three that they won and then lost the Super Bowl?
Yeah, but the Bengals have that because they're like, well, that they made a whole movie about it. They made a book.
You mean that book, Rule Them All, that should have in brackets apart from the Rams?
Rule them all except the last one. All
Yeah.
right, guys. We've got to end on that. It's getting really, yeah. Stick with us, guys. If you enjoyed the show, the Steel Syndicate podcast, just a podcast from the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate with myself, Mark, and Britsburgh Owen, my co-host here. We're doing lots of hard work. So if you do enjoy our content, hit that sub, hit that like. It takes less than 1 second, right? If you made the thing I would say is if you made it this far, 35 minutes in, hit the like, hit the sub. Why not? Well, you might as well do it.
And it's free, Mark. In this day and age where everything is going up in price across the world, we've got a cost of living crisis. You get all this entertainment for free.
That's exactly right. We're not charging you $2 a gallon or $5. Sorry, American $5 a gallon. We're just saying if you like the content, hit that sub. And I think like if I was a viewer, I'd be like, I made 35 minutes. These guys were maybe kind of entertaining. I guess as an Australian dude there, let's get the sunny's eyes and Britsburgh Owen, wish he had the sun. But yeah, look, we enjoy your guys' comments and discourse and stuff like that. So I have so much fun throughout the week. And we can't wait to go live in the future. But Owen, thank you, mate, for coming on the show or helping me out with the show yet again. And let's play the cheesy music to end it. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.